Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to the JustFlight Fokker 100. Continuing our Fokker previews, we are going to have a look at the longer version today, and we're going to do that on a Swiss flight from Zurich to Venice, operated by Helvetic Airways. Now, there are a couple of differences between the Fokker 70 and the Fokker 100, the obvious one being the size, but there are also many smaller things, like for example, the Fokker 100 is equipped with an optional sliding door that airlines can choose from. You will remember our live stream in the Fokker 70 yesterday where we had to operate a lever down here and then you could get the door out, which included an air stair. Now, on this version of the aircraft, we got a sliding door which operates just like the standard airliner doors you are used to from the A320 and 737. So this makes the airplane a little bit more suited for jetway operation and on the other hand side a little bit less flexible. Okay, so follow me inside and we are going to start setting our aircraft up for today's flight. We will have a look through the cabin later on in flight, so if you came here for that, then I do ask a little bit of patience. For now, let's go ahead and get GSX and operate our jetway. Handling by Swissport, please, and then we can start by connecting our ground power unit, and when that thing is connected, we can go ahead with a power-up procedure, which is circuit breaker is checked, the fuel levers are shut, landing gear selector is down, then let's start up the battery and go over here and check the voltage, which is above 25, and then we can turn on the external power. Then let's put the IRSs into nav. Like that, make sure the emergency lights are armed, and since it is not that hot just yet in the morning, we can leave the APU off for the time being. Now, oxygen test is looking good on this side and is looking good on this side, and then let's go ahead and turn up our MFDs today. Like that, and like that. Alright, then we can start on the test panel up here with the APU fire test. And that is looking good. Then we can move on to the smoke detector test, which is also looking good. Then we've got the annunciator test, and we can see that all of our annunciator lights are working. Basic GPWS test, just hold the button for a couple moments. If you do hold it for longer, it is going to give you the full test sequence, which takes several minutes, and believe me, you don't want that thing to give you messages for several minutes. Okay, so then we can do the general warning system test, and last but not least, let's also do the fire test for engine number 1. And here it is, engine 1 fire is checked, and then we can do the same for engine number 2. And engine 2 fire is also checked, and then we can clear the messages down here, like that. Alright, fantastic. So we got that stuff done, then let's test our flight recorder, turn on the ground control, and do the test. Our aircraft documents are all on board, and then let's move right into our pre-flight procedures. So, starting down here on our electronic flight bag, let's go ahead and import our operational flight plan and have a look at the paper OFP. Starting with the weather, we've got fantastic weather over here in Zurich, 19 degrees, 1026. The sun isn't up high The sun isn't up high just yet, so we can live with those temperatures. And Venice, already 25 degrees, clear skies, weather is going to be fantastic today, so that's all looking good. Our outlet in Bologna is looking excellent this time in the morning. And with that in mind, let's have a look at the top of our plan. Leaving Zurich at 5:15, arriving in Venice just about on time. Our weights are all looking good, and we're at planted flight over 310 today. Now, we've got minimum fuel of 4.2 and 11. Let's make that 4.3 and then we should be good to go. So let's go down into the aircraft menu, import our payload, and then we can just change that fuel, 4.3, which means 2,150 kilograms per tank, like that, and can also set that over here to 150. Alright, and enter that. Then let's go ahead and do a realistic refueling down here. Boarding is going to be through GSX, and before we start that, it is early in the morning, so we are going to do some catering services over here. By LSG, please. And then, as soon as the catering is completed, we can start with our boarding. So, that is looking pretty good so far. So, let's go ahead and get that airplane up and running. Starting with the general flight deck inspection. The seatbelt sign does remain off for the time being. Over here, everything's looking good. Over here, again, everything is looking good. Our departure field elevation in Zurich is like that. And then over here we can turn the window heat on. APU remains off for the time being, as we don't need the air conditioning just yet. Okay, so initial climb probably gonna be 5,000. Let's just go ahead and pre-select, you know, something. That is looking good. Then we can erect that standby. That is again looking good. And then let's go ahead and grab our departure ATIS so that we get the QNH. So we are going to depart from Zurich, and then we can find the taxi charts. Here we go, airport info. And the departure ATIS is on 129.005. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Here we go, and let's make that active. Alright, so let's see what we got.
Pavement marking work ongoing on the south ramp. Expect minor delays. Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey. Zurich Airport. Information whiskey. 0450 Zulu. Arriving runway 34. Departing runways 32, 34, 28. Wind calm. Cav OK. Temperature 19er, dew point 17. QNH 1026. Transition level 80. Pavement marking work ongoing on the south ramp. Expect minor delays. Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey.
Okay, so that's information
Zurich
whiskey,
Airport.
and runway
Information
28
whiskey.
is probably going to be our
0450
departure runway over here.
Arriving.
So 121.5 is back in, and the QNH was 1026, so let's go ahead and dial that up. Alright, 1026, here it is. Now, going back down into the aircraft menu, something you have to do here is reselect GSX handling. You also do have a taxi light on this airplane, and I do not want my altimeter synchronized. Those settings are per livery, so if that is not exactly the same on every livery, you now know why. Alright, so refueling is completed, so let's go ahead and turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. QNH 1026 is set on 3 altimeters. And let's take a standard handy mode here at 15 miles. That is looking good, so let's also bring the backlight up just to make it all those figures a little easier to read. And then for our standard radio we need delivery 121.93. And then we can pre-select ground 121.905. Like this. Weather radar 5 degrees, weather and turbulence, squawk machine 2000, above and standby, and then let's switch this to the flight ID. And we are... wait a second, that's wrong. So it's gonna be Swiss something. Five Bravo X-ray. Okay, like that. Enter, then we got that, we got everything on the right hand side, and that's our flight deck setup complete. So let's go ahead and get into our FMS. So we'll get our flight plan over here, since I couldn't find any way to move the tablet up front. And then let's get started. You will see that this is quite similar to what you would expect from a standard Airbus. And by the sounds of it, they're done with the catering. Actually, nope, not yet. Catering vehicle is still in position. So let's nonetheless go ahead and request boarding already. There's always going to be a little delay there anyway. Okay, so we're going from Zurich to Lima, India, Papa Zulu. We do not have a company route for that, and our alternate is Lima, India, Papa Echo. Like that. We can align that IRS using cost index of 20 and flight level 310. Like this, and the temperature out there is minus 42 degrees. And for the wind, what do we have there? Like 208 at 17. Okay, so all easy. For our departure, we are leaving Zurich on runway 28, and we got the Degas 3 Whiskey departure like that. And then from Degas, we'll proceed on Yankee 170 towards Argux. Yeah, not in database. I love it. That's probably because the nav database isn't completely up to date here. Because that's only going to release once the airplane has released to the public. And I am recording this using a preview version. Nonetheless, we can just go ahead and do it this way. And I've just entered a direct here. Okay, Lima 612 Albert is in the database. And that is looking good. And then let's scroll all the way down. For the arrival into Venice, we are looking at the ILS approach Zulu runway 04 right, Albert to Echo arrival, and then we can hit insert over here. Alright, now to cross-check our departure routing, let's have a look at our SID, Degas 3 Whiskey. So we got this, then I think we can also quickly pin the other stamps here. So that one and that one. And now for the sit. Degas 3 Whiskey, here it is. Now, this is an ANA 5 departure. GNSS, which we do not have, or DME required, which we do have. So we can fly the departure. Okay, so the sit takes us straight at 2.3 dB from Kilo Lima Oscar, which is a Kilo Lima Oscar 02 waypoint. We got that one. And then we are going to intercept 252 inbound to waypoint 552. And we got 252 inbound to waypoint 552. And then 051 inbound to Cloten, which is a flyover waypoint. And maximum 210 knots on the turn. So here's 051 inbound to Cloten, and the speed restriction is 210 knots. And thereafter we continue Momul, Kolul, 504, 525 Degas. And in here there's Momul, Kolul, 504, 525, and Degas. So that's all looking good. Initial climb clearance 5000, pre-selected. And then Cloten VOR 114.85. I suppose we... Well, that's the question. How do we actually set that down here? I think we do need to activate those manually somehow. But I'm completely honest with you guys. Not 100% sure how. That's definitely something I gotta read up in the manuals for the next flight. For now, it's an on-off sit, so while there would be a backup possible, don't have to do it. So we aren't doing it today. Okay, so we got that. So let's continue on with our weights. So the block fuel is 4.3. The zero fuel weight is 36.7. So optimum 340, cruising level 310. And for the fuel figures, we got a final reserve of 0.9. Alternate 1 and 5% reserves are looking good. Now let's go for the takeoff data. Performance. Departure is Zurich. Runway 28, we are going to import the live weather. And for our takeoff weight, what did we have down here? The 40.8. Okay, that's looking good. Then let's hit calculate. And that is flaps 0 takeoff, 33 degrees, 38, 38, 44. Okay, noise abatement procedure number 1. So we are going to accelerate in 4,400 feet. And that's it. Finally, for the progress page, 283 miles is looking good. And that's pretty much it. Okay, fantastic. So with that, we have finished our setup. Our IRS alignment has also completed. Then let's set a couple of speed bugs. So an initial speed restriction, well, is to kill the GSX control panel, which is blocking the click spots. Okay, so 210. Then we have 144 and 138. Like this. Okay, this is all looking good. Then we've got our setup complete. So let's go ahead and call for IFR clearance. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Zurich delivery, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray information. Juliet request IFR clearance to Venice. Alright, we'll see what they're gonna come up with for us.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, cleared to Venice via the DJS 3 Whiskey departure, runway 28, initial climb 5,000, departure on 125.955, squawk 4672.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray is cleared to Venice via the DJS 3 Whiskey departure, runway 28, climb 5,000, departure 125.955, squawk 4672. 5,000, 28, DJS 3 Whiskey.
Bravo X-ray, readback correct. Ground will be on 121.905.
121.905, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Bye-bye. Okay, and 4672. Great, and that's our IFR clearance completed.
Swiss 542 Delta ready to taxi.
Okay, so we've got everything, then let's go ahead and start with our departure briefing. So we are going to depart from Zurich, runway 28, DJS 3 Whiskey departure, initial climb 5,000 and the MSA up to 13,000, 4,000 over the airport, and extra fuel and time is 0. So boarding is complete, that's excellent, then we'll be ready to go in just a moment. For our pushback, we got, and taxi out, we got no hotspots. The stop margin is not going to be a lot, and the engine out is straight ahead to 5 miles. Then a right turn back to the Cloten VOR and climb up in the holding to 4,000 feet. If we need to make an immediate re-landing, Zurich has more than available runways. 3-4 is the active landing runway, and we are close to the max landing weight, but not a problem. Now, for our standard departure, we've got nothing special, we've got nothing non-standard, and I see no threats. Anything from you? No? Alright, so that's our departure briefing completed. Cool, so we are done with everything thus far. Then let's go ahead and read the checklists, please. Those are circuit breakers checked, fuel levers shut, landing gear selected down, batteries on, external power on, IRS nav, emergency lights armed, exterior lights set, emergency equipment checked, oxygen checked, MFDs on, test panel checked, flight recorder on, aircraft documents on board, circuit breakers checked, pins and covers on board, oxygen on, overhead panel checked, main instrument panel checked, altimeters, QNH 1026.
We'll give way to the 1 Fokker.
Okay, pedestal check, parking brake set, fuel quantity 4,290 kilograms. Serviceability checked, crew briefing completed, preparation checklist complete. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of Swiss, I would like to welcome you on our Helvetic Fokker 100 on our flight to Venice. Today we are looking at a flight time of approximately 40 minutes, and we are expecting a smooth flight. For the time being, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. We will be ready to go in just a few minutes, so we do expect an on-time arrival. Thank you very much. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and we talk to you again on the approach into Venice with the latest weather. Alright, so far so good. Then let's start the APU. Like that. And then we should be pretty much ready to go. Let's have a look into our weight and balance. So we got a zero fuel weight of 34.6. And that is quite a bit lighter, 34.6. Alright, giving us a takeoff cross rate of 38.7. And that is checked down here. Okay, so let's just redo the performance here at 38.7. Calculate 33.40.
Swiss 430 Hotel, push and start approved.
Wow, for 2 tons, we've lost a lot of speeds there. But still flap 0 takeoff, so that's still all normal. Okay, so far so good. Trim 3.4.
Swiss 89 a Tango, contact tower on 118.1.
Which is here, flight deck door is locked, and all the rest is done down there. All looking good. Fantastic.
Way to the 1 Fokker 100, Swiss 430 Hotel.
Okay, then we're pretty much ready to go, and then we can call for pushback.
Swiss 433 Yankee, give way to the 1 Fokker 100 on your left.
Alright, the APU is available.
Give way to the 1 Fokker 100, Swiss 433 Yankee.
So, external power is coming off.
Swiss 59 a Hotel, contact tower on 118.1.
118.1 for tower, Swiss 59er Hotel.
And then let's go.
Swiss 542 Delta, contact tower on 118.1.
118.1 for tower, Swiss 542 Delta.
Third ground, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, request pushback and startup.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, pushback and start approved, face west.
Pushback and start approved, face west, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, B4 start, checklists. Seatbelts on, fuel panel set, window and probe heat on, takeoff data checked and set, transponder XPNDR, windows and doors closed.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross check.
Arms flight announced, beacon on, before start checklist complete. Okay, ground from cockpit. Pushback and startup are approved, and the park and brake is set. Okay, park and brake released, and we're ready for engine start in sequence 2, then 1. And since the startup is going to take a little while on the Fokkers, let's go ahead and commence engine 2 start.
Alpha 1 Swiss 908 Charlie.
Welcome on board our aircraft. Your comfort and safety is our highest priority.
And
So
2,
we kindly request that you remove all headset devices and pay close attention to your nearest flight attendant during this safety demonstration.
and 1,
Ensure your seatbelt is securely fastened.
15%, fuel on.
Fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and pull the strap to tighten. To release, lift the top of the buckle. We recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened at all times when
The generator is coming on pretty early in the engine start. At around 30% N2. I wonder if that's accurate, but probably is.
pointing those out to you.
I mean, knowing JustFlight, I'm fairly sure it is.
To locate your nearest exit, remembering that it may be behind you. Life vests are located under your seat. To use
Okay, and that looks like the pushback is completed, set brakes,
fasten the straps around your
and the parking brakes are set.
waist to tighten.
We have a good start in engine number 2, starting engine number 1.
Or for additional information,
Clear 1.
blow into the mouthpiece. Do not inflate your vest until you are outside the aircraft.
Alright, there's N2, N1,
In event of low cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop from the panel above your seat. Pull the masks down first
Fuel on.
to stop the flow of oxygen. Place it over your
Swiss
nose and
242 Echo contact tower on 118.1.
secure your own mask before assisting others.
Tower, Swiss 242 Echo.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is strictly prohibited at all times, and smoke detectors are fitted throughout the aircraft, including the lavatories.
and guess who forgot to insert the flex temperature?
Ready for push and start.
So 43 degrees is what we need.
Push and start.
Bend forward,
Okay, flex,
your head down, and rest.
Pushback and start approved. KLM 38 Yankee.
43.
Keep your feet flat.
Okay, and here's 2 good starts, clear to disconnect. Show me the pin on the right, please, and have a good day, bye-bye.
Electronic devices
Charlie,
are
push
set
and start
down.
approved.
They're turned off.
Okay,
Large devices
Pushback approved. Swiss 4 Papa Charlie.
clear signal is received. Then let's release the flight controls
a safety card
and go ahead with the flight control track,
in front of you.
which is full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, and neutral. Okay, before taxi checklist. RTIs off, APU off, alert lights out, flaps 0, trim set, ground equipment removed, before taxi checklist complete. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, request taxi.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, runway 28 taxi via November Foxtrot inner Alpha Alpha 1.
Taxi to holding point runway 28 via November Foxtrot inner Alpha Alpha 1 Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. So, a very quick check down here. November Foxtrot inner Alpha and Alpha 1. Alright, we can do that. So then let's get the live taxi chart. Here we go. Let's go.
Cabin is secured.
Thank you.
Swiss 4 Papa Charlie ready to taxi.
Alright, fantastic.
Charlie, runway 34 taxi via Echo Mike Echo Echo Niner.
Runway 34 taxi via Echo Mike, Echo Echo 9er, Swiss 4 Papa Charlie. Swiss 1903 Tango request push and start.
Swiss 193 Tango, pushback approved.
Roger, pushback approved. Swiss 1903 Tango.
So, looks like quite a couple of aircraft are using runway 32 for the takeoff. Is that 34? Yeah, it's gotta be 34.
KLM 38 Yankee runway 28 taxi via inner Alpha Alpha 1.
Runway 28 taxi via inner Alpha Alpha 1 KLM 38 Yankee.
Alright.
Bravo doors closed.
Looks like we'll be behind the KLM over there.
Swiss 42 Bravo, push and start approved.
Okay, so
Pushback approved. Swiss 42 Bravo.
auto brake RTO, then we are going to do an LNAV and VNAV guided takeoff, and lift dampers armed. Takeoff config shows norm, fantastic. So then let's do the taxi out checklist. Nav system set, FMP set, fuel levers open, lift dampers armed, transponder set, flight controls checked, taxi out checklist completed. Before takeoff is next. Where's that A220 pushing over there?
Swiss 4 Papa Charlie, contact tower on 118.1.
Tower on 118.1. Swiss 4 Papa.
No comment on that pushback, huh? Right into our face. I'll tell you what, I'm going to ignore this guy, because, you know, reasons. Let's just get around him. Now at this moment I would kind of wish for Say Intentions AI to have the possibility to activate some sort of historic traffic, because I'm fairly sure that KLM Embraer in the front over there would have been a KLM Fokker some 10 years ago. So that would have been lovely. But I'm afraid for the time being, that's all we're gonna get. So left side is clear. We're looking for runway 28. So we are simply going to follow the Embraer, and then 28 is right over here.
Roger, pushback approved. Swiss 44 Yankee.
Swiss 193 Tango, give way to the 1 Fokker 100.
We'll give way to the 1 Fokker 100, Swiss 193 Tango.
Okay, and then we're reaching the holding point, number 2 for departure. So that should actually be alright.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, contact tower on 118.1.
118.1, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, we are going to be behind the KLM. Departure frequency 1259055. It's pre-selected. That's all looking fantastic again. Okay, so let's keep a little bit of distance behind the KLM, just so that we don't get into the jet blast. The landings should all... The landings shouldn't have any effect on us, since they're using 3-4 for landings at the moment.
Yankee number 134 ready.
KLM 38 Yankee, winds calm, runway 34, cleared for takeoff.
34 cleared for takeoff. KLM 38 Yankee.
Alright, so that's him. Zurich Tower, good morning. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, ready for departure.
34, ready. Swiss 3 Hotel Bravo, winds calm, runway 34, cleared for takeoff. Cleared takeoff 34, Swiss 3 Hotel Bravo.
Interesting, so the KLM and the Swiss both have takeoff clearance. In the US, okay, but here in Europe, that is not supposed to happen.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, runway 28, line up and wait.
Runway 28, line up and wait, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, that's the message for the flight attendant.
KLM 38 Yankee, contact departure.
Good day.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, runway 28, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28, cleared for takeoff, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, before takeoff checklist. Cabin ready, takeoff config normal, brakes checked, strobes on, transponder Tara, weather radar on, crew briefing completed, takeoff clearance received. Before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, ready? Takeoff. Set takeoff thrust. And there's the crossing. Should of course only have gotten takeoff clearance after that guy has passed our runway.
8 knots.
Checked.
Swiss 3 Hotel Bravo, contact departure. Good day.
V1. Rotate.
Switching to departure. Swiss 3 Hotel Bravo.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
They can see how we need quite a little bit less pitch on the Fokker 100
Yankee, winds calm, cleared to land runway 34.
than we would have on the 70.
Cleared to land, Lufthansa 8 Yankee Yankee.
So this one is more like 16 degrees pitch compared to the
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, contact Zurich, final
Climb
departure,
first.
125.9055.
125.9055, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray.
Swiss 430 Hotel holding short 34, ready for departure.
Kinda interesting how the nav mode isn't commanding any turns. Now it is. Zurich departure, good morning, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, passing 3,800, climbing 5,000.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, Zurich final departure identified, climb flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Now, flight director guidance isn't 100% accurate. Now look at how it's overshooting the route down there.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, climb flight level 230.
Climb flight level 230, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Alright, let's finish that turn, then I'm gonna get the autopilot on. So here's 210 knots. And then we are already in the next turn. Well, let's just make sure we are trimmed out. On the flight director and autopilot 1. Okay, here we go.
Departure Swiss 430 Hotel 2000 for 4,000.
Swiss 430 Hotel,
Set,
Alps radar
230
Zurich Center,
checked.
radar contact, climb and maintain.
Alright,
flight
210
level
knots for the
120.
turn. Once we're out of the turn, we can already start the acceleration.
430 Hotel.
We no longer need the standby displays down there. And since the engines are in climb thrust, we no longer need that timer. Okay, set standard. Standard cross-check passing flight level 7-1. Now. Checked. Okay, after takeoff checklist, altimeter set, MFDs checked, after takeoff checklist complete. Okay, so we can already retract this. So it should fly direct to Cloten VOR now.
X-ray, climb flight level 270.
Climbing level 270 with 5 Bravo X-ray. Set, 270 checked. Alright, so let's see. It should aim for a course of 051 inbound to Cloten. And it's on 048. Let's see, if that becomes 051, I'm happy. And we can start the acceleration. Let's just wait until we're in 10,000 here. Like that. Here we go, level change. And we're probably looking at around 280 knots-ish. Okay, it looks like it is actually aiming for the correct inbound course to Cloten. 050 now, should be 051. That is kind of close enough. Especially since we're still in a very slight right-hand turn. Okay, so we are going to release the... Oh, we are going to turn off the seatbelts, and this does not look turbulent at all, so... Seatbelts are released. Alright, let's get you some sun visors down there. And look at the beautiful visibility today. That's fantastic, isn't it? Really fantastic. Okay, so overflying Cloten. Remember, that was an overfly point. And then let's go back to profile mode. And here we go. Climb speed looks like 271. That is good enough for me. And then let's see. Maybe we're able to get it direct to Argax. Can always ask. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Any chance to proceed direct Argax? But that would surely shove off a minute of flight time.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray negative. Proceed as filed via DGUS, then Argax.
DGUS, Argax, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, so direct to DGUS. Okay, DGUS. And thereafter Argax. So that's looking okay. Alright, fantastic. So we're up in the air. Then I suggest we can use a little bit of that time.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, climb flight level 310.
Climb flight level 310, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Set, 310 checked. Alright, let's get that sun visor in place here. Here we go. And yours should be, alright, is as far left as possible. So, our cabin pressurization is looking good. And I think we've done everything we had to. Yep, the overhead panel is all clear. Down here, everything is clear. For the routing, unfortunately, not much we can do about it. Okay.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, direct Argax approved. Proceed direct Argax.
Proceeding direct Argax, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Fantastic. That's going to shove off another minute or two. And that's exactly what we need.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, direct ARGAX approved.
Yeah, don't repeat yourself. Alright, so let's see. Estimated time of arrival. Well, we got 248 miles and ETA 14 versus a scheduled time at 20. Fantastic.
Swiss radar on 133.05.
133.05, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, bye-bye. Swiss radar, good morning, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, flight level 172, climbing flight level 310.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, Swiss radar identified. Good morning.
Alright, so I promised you we are going to have a look at the cabin a couple of times now, so let's make good on that promise and have a look at the cabin. So, doors unlocked. And here we are, Fokker 100. As you can see, quite different from the cabin we had in the KLM Fokkers. Let's just take a seat somewhere over here. Just enjoy a fantastic
Swiss
view.
5 Bravo X-ray, contact Alps radar Zurich Center on 119.225.
119.225 Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Alright, I'm gonna have you tune that for me, okay? Zurich, good morning, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, passing and climbing level 310. Alright, it's your radio. I'll let our FO handle that while we're back here.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Alps radar Zurich Center. Identified. Hello.
Alright, so this is really a view that I could get used to. The wing of the Fokker is just looking fantastic, is it not? And so is the terrain down here. I think we've picked a great day for flying across the Alps. Visibility is fantastic. Let's risk a view from the outside, huh? What a fantastic visibility. What an absolutely fantastic visibility here. And the airplane's looking great as well. What else could you ask for? Now here's the point of view that I do really like in the Fokkers. It's just back here, with all the engine exhaust. Just go down somewhere over here. This is looking interesting, isn't it?
Alps radar Zurich Center, Swiss 4.
Alright, now that we got a roasted camera, let's move that slightly out of the jet blast there. And yeah, you can kind of hear it in the background. I am taking screenshot after screenshot here, just because that airplane is looking so good. It's kind of what I said on yesterday's live stream. If you go like really up close, as in walk around close, then the airplane has the occasional tendency to show some rough edges, but if you view it from any reasonable distance, even like we're doing right now, then it's just a fantastic looking airplane. Just a fantastic looking airplane. So, going back inside over here.
Bravo X-ray, contact Swiss radar on 133.05.
So, our first officer should handle those comms. And she is.
133.05.
Alright, let's make our way all the way to the back. We do have 2 emergency exit rows here in the Fokker 100. I do believe the 70 does not have 2. And then making our way all the way to the back to the flight attendant stations here. This is what it looks like in the back. You can really notice how the trolleys and boxes on the side here and the lavatory on the other side is shielding all the noise. Like when you go a little bit further forward, you immediately hear those engines a lot stronger. And if we do take a seat down here, I mean, this view is kind of scary, is it? Like, imagine an uncontained engine failure where a fan blade comes and visits you on the inside. I would not want to sit back here, really. Even though the view on the wing and the trailing edge is actually quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Alright, shall we take a moment to go back up front? I mean, the view is beautiful and I am enjoying it, but shall we take a moment and go back up front just to see what our airplane's climb performance is doing? Since on yesterday's live stream, some people said that another streamer had some problems climbing above level 310. Now, 310 happens to be our cruising altitude. I did not choose that because of that reason, just to mention that. It was the optimal level calculated by SimBrief. But if we just go back up here into the flight deck, let's see how our airplane is doing. So, we can... Here it is. And shut the door for the time being. Okay, closed and locked. So, we're passing level 265 and we're doing 900 feet a minute. We are still climbing on indicated airspeed. It will transition to a Mach 6.8 climb momentarily. So for the time being, our climb performance is actually looking okay. So, top of descent is already coming up in 60 nautical miles. I'm gonna take the comms back manually over here, just because, you know, it's a little more fun. And since it is such a short flight, let's run down to the charts. So, trust in the Alps, MSA, up to 16,000. Generally speaking, the Alps are not too wide where we are flying, so if we have to do an emergency descent, then instead of making a 180 and returning back up north, where the MSA is lower, I think the better course is just to continue straight ahead and past the Alps, because the MSA is already coming down again over here. Okay, so we have transitioned onto a constant Mach climb at 0.68, and we're doing 1400 feet a minute. That looks quite fine to me. That is really normal performance, isn't it? Okay, so let's have a look. Airport charts, search, arrival. So, Venice, and we got the Albert to Echo arrival. And the ILS Zulu approach runway 04 right. Airport chart. And parking stand chart. So, HS 128655. Here we go. And then 109.95. Like that, and the course is 039. Now this is getting a little dark down there for my taste. Let's just move up here. No, not you. You. Here we go.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, contact Alps radar Zurich Center on 119.225.
119.225, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Bye-bye. Good morning, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, flight level something, climbing 310. Flight level something, that's always what you want to hear, is it? There you go, passing level 300, 900 feet a minute, that looks
Swiss
quite
5
okay.
Bravo X-ray, Alps radar Zurich Center identified, good morning.
So at least for the time being, those figures are all looking okay to me. Even though the rated climb is somewhat coming down right now, 700 feet a minute. But then again, it is also getting a little turbulent here. So when the wind is shifting around, temporary loss of climb rate could absolutely be normal. So minimums 207. That's 210. Like that. Alright, 700 feet a minute up here, 800. Honestly, that looks okay. I mean, the Fokker isn't a climb monster, but then again, for short flights like this, looks okay to me. So here we are, 310, 20 minutes. Let's do a quick fuel check for the top of climb. Should have taken 21 minutes, 2.5 tons on board. Did take 21 minutes and 3 tons on board, so we saved 500 kilos. Probably a slightly inaccurate sim brief profile if we're saving that much fuel. Was 500 yesterday on the live stream as well. But yeah, here we are. So, Mach 6.7, 400 knots true airspeed. For a short flight like this, fantastic. Alright, and then we can get right back into our arrival. So, we got the frequencies, we got the minimums. Next up, let's go ahead and get the ATIS.
Operations in progress. Expect brief delays on the ground. Advise on initial contact, you have information pop-up. Venice Marco Polo Airport, information pop-up. 0550 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 04 right, 04 left. Wind 330 at 4. Cav OK. Temperature 25, dew point 18. QNH 1023. Transition level 70. Towing operations in progress. Expect brief delays on the ground. Advise on initial
Swiss
contact.
5 Bravo X-ray, contact Milan Military Center on 121.14.
Venice Marco Polo.
121.14, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, bye bye. Milano, buongiorno, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, maintaining level 310.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, Milan Military Center, identified. Good morning.
Okay, so let's quickly feed the FMS. Descent forecasts, and here's our winds. So 310/213/20, then 321 / oh no, that's wrong. 200/321/11 and 100/332/14. 5, and on the ground the wind was 330 at 4, something like that. Okay, that is looking good. So we got that nice stuff. Then let's have a look into the flight plan and our arrival route. 20 miles to the top of the descent, so we do have some time. Albert to Echo from Albert into a downwind. The Albert restrictions are missing, are they? Wants to be in level 156. It's supposed to be below 130 and 270 knots. Okay, so speed 270 at or below 130. Here we go. Okay, that's looking better. Then the others all seem to be there. I think it's the star entry where it's sometimes losing the restrictions. Okay, and then we go directly onto the final. Starting at Fox in 3000, and it's a 3-degree glide. We got a Fox in 3000, and then we've got a missed approach on runway heading to waypoint 702, turn right, max 200, 117, waypoint 703. Engineer, we got 702, 703, and then to Arcado and hold in 5000. And that's Arcado 5000, looking good. Okay. So that our route is checked, and here's the top of descent. With 5 Bravo X-ray, request descent.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, descend via Albert to Echo to flight level 090 into Venice.
Albert to Echo arrival, descent flight level 90, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Global change 0.7. Let's catch up with the path, because we are now 1200 above the profile. Also, let's put the weather radar slightly down here.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, contact Milan radar on 132.705.
132.705, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Milano Buongiorno, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, flight level 295, descending level 90. Well, that's quite the steep descent.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, Milan radar identified, good morning.
But then again, it means we are catching up with a VNAV profile. So let's switch back to profile over here. And here we are. Thrust on the lower limit, descent mode out blue. It's looking okay. Alright, good. So let's do some landing calculations. We do have 3,300 meters, and we'd like to vacate on the first exit. Well, first or second. So about 1,800 meters. Let's see. Performance. Landing. Lima India Papa Zulu. Runway 4 right. Auto brake low. Import the live weather, please. And then for the landing weight, 37.1. Like this. Calculate. And factor landing distance 4,500 feet. Well, what if we do a flat 25 landing? That's better. Alright, easy. So 135, 140. Like this, and 147 for the clean speed. Alright. Flaps 25, no wind correction needed, 142 knots. That's all looking good. Okay, excellent. I think with that we've set our entire airplane up. At least I wouldn't know what I have forgotten, so let's do a briefing and see if anything else comes to our mind. So 7,200 is the MSA because of the terrain up in the north. The approach chart gives us something better there. 2,315 miles, so 2.4 basically, and then beyond 15 it's 7.2. That looks okay. So let's go for the briefing. So Albert to Echo arrival. We just talked about the MSA, and it's going to be an ILS Zulu approach, runway 04 right. The approach is going to be flown down to a minimum of 210, and the go around straight out right turn, climb to 5,000. Extra fuel and time, we do not have any. Well, actually we do, which is about 15 minutes. Alright. Come on, plane, you're getting a little fast, don't you think so? That speed target is a little weird.
Airline radar with Malta 1 Zulu Kilo, flight level 280.
Well, before it's overspeeding, let's get the speed brake out.
Kilo, Milan radar identified.
And then we can turn the seatbelt signs on as well. Alright, now that the speed is getting lower, the target is looking good as well. So not 100% sure what happened there. Alright. You go back to idle, please. I think it probably just saw the speed trend towards the target and therefore started adding thrust. But that's all fine. Okay, so for the second half of the briefing, we are going to fly the Albert to Echo arrival and the approach using flight director guidance, flaps 25 for the landing. And
Bravo X-ray contact approach on 134.75.
134.75, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, bye-bye. Can't even do a briefing without getting interrupted. But that's fine, that's why we're doing all this, isn't it? Venice approach, good morning, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, flight level 180, descending flight level 90, information's off.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray identified. Good morning, Venice QNH 1023, cleared Laren transition. Expect the ILS Whiskey runway 4 right approach into Venice. Verify information, Papa.
QNH 1023, expect the ILS Whiskey runway 04 right, and Papa is on board, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, 1023, and... did he give us an altitude? No, he didn't. Okay, so that call was a little confusing there, but okay. Anyway, back to the briefing. So flight director guided ILS approach, flaps 25, auto brake slow, maximum reverse, vacate the runway to the left, preferably via the first or the second exit, and then we are going to cross runway 04 left, which is the threat for today's arrival, and then taxi to the main apron. 384 is our assigned gate, and that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions or suggestions? I got nothing special, nothing non-standard, no threats, so that's pretty much it. Nope? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, here our captain with a quick update on our flight. We have started our descent to Venice, and the remaining flight time is about 15 minutes. Weather in Venice is fantastic, 27 degrees, clear skies. Thank you very much for being our guest. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight, and we look forward to welcoming you all again on board our future service. In the meantime, enjoy your time in Venice, and thank you for choosing Swiss for today's flight. Okay, temperatures at 13, we don't need anti-ice for this. Seatbelt signs are on already. Then let's just make sure the cabin altitude target is set. Here we go. Should probably have done that a bit earlier, but I'm sure the pressurization computer is going to manage anyway. Okay, we are cleared for the arrival. Then let's do the descent checklist. Terrain clearance, FMS position.
Bravo X-ray, maintain current routing by DJS 3 Whiskey and Laren transition as filed.
Okay, so terrain clearance, FMS position checked, weather radars on, pressurization checked, MFDs checked, approach preparation completed, descent checklist complete. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, any chance to proceed to direct Laren? Model change, just in case we do get a shortcut.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, proceed direct Laren approved.
Direct Laren, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. See?
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, say again.
Nope. Okay, direct to Laren. Now, for some reason, the line drawing is a little weird when I'm entering a direct, but hey, that's not going to be a problem for now. Okay, so speed 250. Here we go. Interesting, it's supposed to fly direct to Laren, but it's really just going somewhere. Come on. Direct to Laren. Okay, here we go. Now we're apparently below the profile. Well, let's go back to profile mode. And 1000 to go. Passing 10. Lights on, signs on. Okay, no seats for landing just yet, but you get the general idea. $1,000 to go. Alts down.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, descend 3000.
Down at 3000, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Okay, set. 3000 checked. Set QNH. And that's 1023. Cross check, passing 8800 now. Checked. Approach checklist. Seatbelts on, approach settings are checked and set. Crew briefing complete. Altimeters, QNH 1023. Approach checklist complete. Flying a tad fast here. But let's see if it's going to correct that. I think it will.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, you need to be below 250 knots.
Level change. 250. Too bad. I wanted to see what VNAV could do, but it's okay, I guess. We're approaching the glide slope here. Speed is coming back towards 250, as ATC wanted.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, cleared for the ILS runway 4 right approach via Laren.
Cleared ILS 4 right via Laren, Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray. Localizer armed. Now look at the beautiful terrain into Venice over here. That's really why it's such a beautiful approach. I'm gonna let her descend below the glide slope in level change. And then when we are approaching 3000, maybe at 4000 or so, I will start the speed reduction to get her down to a nice speed, and that's gonna be it. Okay, Lockstar. And here comes the localizer, and then let's have some fun. Alright, first officer, you have the radios. And here's 4,000, so let's start the reduction. And I think this should make for a nice continuous descent approach. We are cleared for the ILS, land mode is on. Checked. Alright, and speed down to 180. Or let's make it even easier, we are gonna go for the green dot. Flaps 8. Speed checked. Last up star. Ground altitude set.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, contact Venice Tower on 118.255.
Alright, and there's Venice right down there.
Tower on 118.255.
Told you this is a beautiful approach.
X-ray.
Okay, flaps 15.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray.
Speed checked.
Good morning. Established on the ILS
And
runway
manual
4
thrust.
approach.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, Venice Tower, roger, continue approach.
Okay, nicely established. 9 knots out, speed is looking good, altitude is looking good. I think that's all we can ask for. So final approach speed was 142.
4 right, wind 330 at 4, cleared to land.
Runway 04 right, cleared to land. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray.
Landing clearance is
Speed
here.
checked, gear down.
Yeah, in a couple of moments. Just gonna delay the landing at 6 miles. Okay, gear down. 142 was our approach speeds. And that's set.
Speed checked, flap 25.
Now look at the beautiful terrain here. Alright, flaps 25. And then look at the beautiful terrain on the right hand side. And then you know why I love flying to Venice. Ew, that wind is shifting rather rapidly again. That was a trim. Okay, so landing checklist please. But I'm gonna read that off screen on my physical iPad here. So, cabin. Is warmed. Okay, altimeter set, missed approach altitude set, gear down, lift dumpers. Armed and flaps 25, landing checklist complete.
Cabin is secured for arrival.
Roger. A little bit of turbulence here. But overall not too shabby.
500.
You need very, very small trim inputs here. That surprises me a little bit. I would kind of have
100 above.
expected a little... the trim to be a little less sensitive.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reverse.
Speed. And lift dampers out. Manual brakes. And then we'll take the second exit. Here's 60 knots.
60 knots.
No beta testing done. Lamp on the runway. And here we are. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, request to cross runway 04 left.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, exit at Foxtrot if able. Taxi to main apron gate 364 via Foxtrot, hold short of runway 22 right stay on this frequency.
Exit at Foxtrot if able. Taxi to main
Okay,
apron gate
then let's
364
clean it
via
up.
Foxtrot. Hold short of runway 22 right, staying on this frequency. Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray.
Swiss 5 Bravo X-ray, cross runway 04 left approved.
Okay. So 364 is over there. Then we are going to continue on Fox for the time being. Alright, and then we're off to gate 364. So it's pretty hot out here already, 27 degrees, so let's go ahead and start the APU. Okay, and
47 Golf Bravo, winds calm.
taxiing checklist, stereo lights set, APU on, weather radar off, transponder XPNDR, speed brakes in, flaps up, lift dampers in, and flight controls are locked. So let's see, 364 is going to be via mic. So that's over here. So GSX, are you gonna do something or are you broken again? Well, that looks like it's broken again. One more attempt. Interesting how the menu suddenly loads in a different place. But no, definitely broken. Okay, fine. So, I guess we're gonna be somewhere in between the two Embraers. Okay, 363. Lights off. APU is on, weather radar is off. And here's 364. Right onto the construction site. Lovely. Okay, there's a stop sign on the side, which was next to that boundary here. Well, let's stop somewhere over here. That should be fine. Okay, parking brake is set. Then the APU is available.
Cabin crew, door to manual and cross check.
And here we go. So 2000 standby, seatbelts off. And parking checklist, please. So, parking brake set, disarm slides announced, fuel levers shut, transponder standby, seatbelts off, exterior lights are set, anti-ice off, fuel pumps off, window and probe heat off, parking checklist complete. So, let's see if we can get some ground services now for the deboarding. But it looks like they are still completely broken. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm not really going to bother, and I'll just do it that way. So guys, thank you very much for flying along. I do hope you enjoyed this trip, and I do hope you enjoy the Fokker 100. Again, release is going to be really soon. I do hope that you all enjoy the airplane. As always, leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.